The Mandean Book of John the Baptist, translated and edited by Dahman Biroba. The Wisdom and Sermons of the Prophet John. The essence of your covenant is that you do not evade your works, deceive, or lie. The essence of your faith is to believe in the great living God, the King of the Supreme Light, who exists and confirms all good deeds. The essence of your justice is to hold yourself accountable. The essence of your knowledge is not to associate others with the great living God. The essence of your insight is not to throw yourself into destruction. The essence of your wisdom is not to wreak havoc and not to mock those who worship. The essence of your learning is to interpret and explain the words of your Lord. The essence of your education is not to neglect the words of virtue offered by good intellectuals. The essence of your steadfastness is that you do not break your word. The essence of your prayers and praises is that you do not get used to sleeping a lot. The essence of your charity and alms is feeding the hungry and giving water to the thirsty. The essence of your forbearance is not to curse, get angry, or be moody. The essence of your humility is that the remembrance of your Lord does not cease from your mouth. The essence of your righteousness is to build yourself up and accept the advice of the wise. The essence of your honesty is not to say what you do not know. The essence of your kindness is to respect all people. The essence of your sobriety is to think and then speak. The essence of your trustworthiness is that you do not desire or take anything that is not yours. The essence of your purity is to avoid impurity. The essence of your integrity is to protect yourself and avoid harmful actions. The essence of your perfection is not to be arrogant towards someone who is older than you. The essence of your compassion is to help the poor and the oppressed. The essence of your mercy is to have sincere love for your pious brothers who follow the guidance of their Lord. Your most intense contemplation and thinking about the great living God will be on the day you leave your body. A just person is like a perfect balance with no tilt. The upright person is like a just judge who does not lie in his rulings. The believer is like a farmer who plants and produces good and sweet fruits. The knowing is like a creative builder who builds and coordinates the building with all beauty. The discerning person is like a creative sculptor who carves beautiful statues with great perfection. The wise man is like a skilled worker who understands everything. The creative teacher is like a luminous lamp that illuminates from left to right. The strong man is like a lofty mountain that repels storms from the places of righteous believers. The one who chants prayers and praises is like a believing merchant, who the more his wealth increases and multiplies, the more he gives alms away. The alms giver is like a full meal served to the hungry. The calm person is like a sweet, fragrant fruit. The humble person is like water that descends and spreads everywhere by the will of the Creator. A competent person is a person who has a good reputation and works, clarifies, and directs. The gentle and advising person is like a mountain full of flowers, trees, and winds. The committed person is like an honest guard who does not take bribes, no matter the pressure on him. The founder is like an elaborate meal decorated with all kinds of fruits. The pure person is like a spring of clear, pure water without any impurities mixed with it. The righteous person is like a polished mirror in which every face is clearly visible. The compassionate person is like the sun that shines on the good and the bad. The merciful man is like the fresh air that breathes through every door and window. The thinker who plans for his afterlife is like a knight who is thrown in prison and waits for the day of his release to return to his family and religion. Every person filled with sincere love is like a good father who raises his children with a good upbringing. O chosen ones and believers, adhere to the commands of your Lord. Be careful and distance yourselves from the following shameful acts: deception, treachery, lying, evil, cheating, misguidance, deviation, error, confusion, strife, dark mindedness, infidelity, cruelty, foolishness, mirth, adultery, immorality, decadence, rashness, recklessness, vanity, envy, drunkenness, dancing, captivity, covetousness, unbridled lust with which people's sons and daughters are afflicted, jealousy, hostility, insolence, hatred, lack of modesty, anger, sadness, rebellion, kidnapping, injustice, plunder, evil intention, impurity, filth of the body, and persecution that evil people inflict on worshippers. The deceiver looks like a rotten pomegranate with a rosy face on the outside and a moldy inside. The treacherous man is like a cunning fox that approaches and watches its prey, then pounces on it to kill it. A liar is like an enemy who pretends to sympathize with all religions and then abandons them. The deceiver is like a raging sea that hijacks the ships sailing in it. The evil man is like a bitter tree that produces poisonous, deadly fruits, and it does not bear good fruits. The sinner is like a well from which stagnant, bitter, poisonous water flows. The ferocious man resembles a mass of dirt thrown into the water, and whenever it is moved, dirt appears from it. The hard man is like a pebble that does not soften with solvents. The insane person is like a thrown rock. If it falls under you or on top of you, it will hurt you. The arrogant person is like a willow tree that flourishes with its leaves but does not produce or give fruit to its owner. The rebel man is like a burning furnace in which there is no compassion or mercy. The bitter, harmful man is similar to the aloe vera plant, which one drops in honey spoils it. A fool is like a burning fire driven by the wind. The unrighteous wise man is like a house without a roof. The unorganized wise man is like a respectable lady without a robe. The wise man who does not humble himself is like an unpolished mirror. The wise man who does not know is like a horse without a saddle. The wise man who does not suspense is like a meal without taste. The wise man who is not controlled is like an army without a leader. The wise man who does not perfect his knowledge is like an unorganized table. A wise man who is not frank in his words is like a house without an entrance. The wise man who is not respected is like a land that does not produce. The wise man who does not take precautions is like a ship without a sailor. When a wise man's wealth increases, his voice is calm, his words are clear, his style is balanced, and his salute is natural. When an ignorant person's wealth increases, his voice is loud, and his words are distorted. He struts his walk and salutes with the tip of his finger. When a wise man's wealth increases, his conversation is enjoyable, and he contributes to all good deeds. When an ignorant person increases in wealth, his words are full of lies, and he contributes to all evil deeds. When a wise man says his word, he is confident about it and acts on it. When an ignorant person's wealth increases, evil calculations emerge from him, and he extends his hand to people's currencies and wealth. The wise man's abode is fixed, and his table is ready for all the pious. When a wise man gives you a ruling, he is convinced of it, and he carries out your work calmly and peacefully. When a fool gives you a ruling, his ruling is harsh, and his words are hurtful, and may even lead to cutting throats. The wise man who does not guide is not considered a thinker. Woe to the wise man whose people do not benefit from him and his wisdom. The wise man plants good qualities in you when you hear his kind words, while the ignorant plants bad qualities in you as a result of his harsh words. The ignorant person dances even if there is a noose around his neck. The advice of a wise man to a fool is like a stone that does not soften with oil. The advice of a wise man to a fool is like a mirror to a one-eyed man. The advice of a wise man to a fool is like rain on barren land. The advice of a wise man to an ignorant person is like white cloth to a glass blower. The advice of a wise man to a fool is like palm oil to a fisherman. The advice of a wise man to an ignorant person is like a virgin girl to an effeminate one. A wise man's advice to a fool is like an ember in water. The advice of a wise man to an ignorant person is like a caller calling to a mute and deaf person. The advice of a wise man to an ignorant person is like giving a coral to a sow. Starving a fool to discipline him will cause him to despise you. The wise man who does not avoid the fool is the king of fools and does not understand anything. The fool who is silent and you consider him wise. If he is not one of your lovers, do not participate in your work with him, as his mind is not enlightened or pliable, and do not consider him a rational person. The wise person is the one who does not force people to convert into a religion other than theirs by force. He who reads and does not practice is like a deaf person who does not hear or feel the sound of the flute. He who reads and does not practice is like a builder who does not build a building for himself. He who reads and does not practice is like a sleeper who kills his enemies in his dream, and when he wakes up from his sleep, he finds out that he did not do anything. He who reads and does not practice is like a gardener who does not weave a wreath for himself. He who reads and does not practice is like a judge who judges people but does not judge himself. Woe to those people who read and do not practice. Woe to those who declare contrary things and act in different ways. On their outside, signs of faith appear, but within them are motives of sabotage, as they act without knowing. Do not bring hatred into your hearts, for whoever is spiteful is not considered one of the believers. Congratulations to every person who loves his father and mother. There is no one dearer in the world than he who takes care of his father and mother. Whoever does not obey the commands of his Lord, death is closer to him than life. The righteous are those who read and hear the words of their Lord and act upon them, and do not lie with what their mouths utter. These are the words of wisdom that were explained and ordered by the Prophet John, son of Zachariah in Jerusalem, and proclaimed by Yahya Ziwa, the Master of Heavenly Majesty, and his assistants. May the living God purify all our works.